Welcome to everyone. Hope everyone's well on this lovely Monday afternoon, July 1st, 2024. I want to start at this episode unequivocally without any delay that viewer discretion is advised for this episode. We're going to be covering some themes and topics that other people may not appreciate or may want to listen to. I'm not going to sugarcoat or censor any of it, as I normally do not. So I just want everybody to be aware of that before we even begin this. Before I even put anything up on the board. Yes, I am on Rumble. I am on YouTube. X still doesn't work for whatever godforsaken reason. But I just want everybody to know before we even get going with this. I'm not going to read through the whole thing because it's 176 pages. I just got it. I did do some keyword searches. I did do some brief reading through it, and did look through it. This one came out of left field. I did not know this was coming. I had no idea that this information was going to be released or coming out. Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, today signed I guess you call it an executive order from the office of the governor. Ron DeSantis did sign an executive order to release the original 2006 grand jury documents from the prosecution of Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. And those were released today, within the last little bit here. So I did obtain those. These are those. We're going to read some of the justification for it. So the cause having come before the court of the Palm Beach Post motion for reconsideration of the trial court's February 29th, 2024 order filed on June 12th, 2024, and the court having considered the motion, being advised of the arguments of the parties, and being otherwise advised of the premises, the court grants the motion for reconsideration and adjudicates the following. In 2019, the Palm Beach Post commenced action seeking a declaration authorizing the release of testimony and related evidence presented to the Palm Beach County Grand Jury in 2006 during the first Jeffrey Epstein sexual abuse investigation. Bitch, read it. It's 176 pages. If you all know Brian, my good buddy Brian, if you can talk Brian into reading this with me, I will happily read all 176 pages. But I'm gonna need somebody to read it with, because if not, it's gonna be kind of ridiculous. But on December 21st, 2021, the trial court entered a final judgment dismissing the Palm Beach Post amended complaint on the grounds that the court lacked statutory authority under Florida Statute 905.27 to order the release of the Epstein grand jury materials. On May 10th, 2023, the 4th District Court of Appeal remanded the case to the Circuit Court to conduct as in-camera inspection of the Epstein grand jury materials to determine whether public disclosure would be furthering justice as defined by Florida Statute 905.27. Court ultimately determined that the request did not further justice under the law as it existed at the time. The court stated it must follow the law and cannot create new law. Lawmaking is a process that belongs exclusively to the people of Florida. When they speak through the legislature and executive branches, the concept is rudimentary and basic civics. The court interprets the law. The courts do not make law. Brian should be here. I thought about using AI, but unfortunately, there's certain things in here from my readings that are going to have to be skipped over or said in a different way, or YouTube is going to fuck me like Epstein did these people. It's important to note that without an amendment to the statute, grand jury proceedings are generally kept secret and close to the public. This is generally to protect jurors, witnesses, those accused, and the integrity of the case. Secrecy allows people to serve as jurors and witnesses to testify without fear of outside influence or retaliation. In some cases, it also ensures the protection of the innocent suspect's reputation. Secrecy also makes it less likely that a defendant will abscond, after learning they're being investigated. While those do not apply to Epstein, the law at the time did not carve out an exception. During this time, among others, clerk of the court, Mr. Joseph Abruzzo, the former state legislator with vast experience, blah, 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 amend the law, unanimously passed Bill HB 117. I want to skip to the important part. Once the bill passed both legislative houses, Governor of Florida Ron DeSantis very quickly signed CSHB 117, amending Florida Statute 905.27, effectively on July 1st, 2024. That's today. This amendment significantly modified the definition of furthering justice, expressly to include a furthering of public interest when the disclosure requested pursuant to paragraph 905.272C. It cannot be understated that the amendment to the law very clearly allows what previously was not legally permissible. So that's pretty much an official press release. Governor DeSantis explained his reasons for signing CSHB 117 into law. Governor DeSantis stated the public deserves to know who participated in Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking. No one should be protected from facing justice due to their wealth or status, and those who harm children should be exposed and punished to the fullest extent of the law. Conclusions and facts law. This is just the conclusions of the court. There's some stuff in here that's probably good to read, but the first paragraph basically says what needs to be said. The court finds that the request involves a matter of public interest. The criminal prosecutions of the most infamous pedophile in American history began in Palm Beach County with much controversy. For almost 20 years, the story of how Jeffrey Epstein victimized some of Palm Beach County's most vulnerable has been subject to much anger and has at times diminished the public's perception of the criminal justice system. So they finally realized that it would probably be worth it. So it was signed and it was released very quickly. Great job, Governor DeSantis and the Florida courts. So we have some notes of witness logs. I don't think these are fairly important. We have 3 witnesses that are redacted. The rest of them are detectives. And then we have a bunch of these handwritten notes. Incredibly difficult to read, highly redacted. But this is basically claims against children investigation from the grand jury dated 7/19/2006. So these are the notes, and I will post these in Discord, and I'll also post it on Twitter after we're done, because like I said, there's a ton here. Jeffrey gave her 300. So blah blah blah. As you can see, there's jury questions. I don't know whose notes these were. I assume that they were probably one of the jurors' notes in the grand jury, but this goes on for several pages. Like I said, again, it's incredibly difficult to read because of the handwriting. But as you can see, introduced to Jeffrey when went to Jeffrey's home at the time was 16. Full-time Jeffrey's house. Jeffrey gave her $200. Jeffrey won 17. Blah blah blah. For what it's worth, I did not see. I saw one specific excerpt about William Jefferson Clinton that referenced how Bill Clinton spoke frequently with Mr. Epstein, but nothing of a sexual nature towards anyone else. I did not see anything regarding any of the other players, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, none of those. But this is pretty much what it is for the remainder of the 150 some odd pages. It is just the testimony from the court. It starts with a detective. It then goes to some very graphic sexual detail about. I think this is from one of the individuals. This young lady was, I believe, 14 at the time, and she was told by basically Epstein's secretary, that she had to say she was 18 the entire time, despite knowing that she was 14. And it describes the sexual acts that were taken against Mr. Epstein and back to the young lady. So she's 16 currently, but she says I was 14 still, when this was happening. Testimony was given 2 years after. It talks about how she got in some trouble in school, some trouble with some other individuals, about relationships and how they were affected. How she was basically groomed goes into a lot of that. There was a specifically an incredibly graphic sexual situation that was later in here. This is followed up by another witness and another witness. Blah blah blah. So this is pretty much what it is a play-by-play of how these young ladies were groomed, how they were treated, and how they were kind of what they had to do to Mr. Epstein and with, as you can see, and some of it gets really graphic sexually, like I said. And this goes on for 176 pages. So there is another individual that comes up that was the same or similar age, and then there was reference to a 23-year-old woman that was a stripper that was trying to make money by essentially having sex with Epstein. And Epstein denied her because she was 23 and it was too old. She does talk about her MySpace page and lying on it, saying she was a drug dealer and made 250 grand a year, that kind of stuff. How she was introduced to drugs, alcohol, sex toys, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what this goes on for several pages, about 100 and some odd pages. So it describes these acts in detail. Sorry, just kind of flying through them. It does talk about Nadia Cherakova, or whatever the hell her name was. Somebody that we heard from several times. So there was also some accompanying videos and video release. So Grandpa might know what's MySpace. It's what kids used to be cool back in this time frame, 2005, 2006. I remember there was always some kind of the one thing that I remember about MySpace is people used to get pissed if they weren't in like your top 8 or whatever, because you could display your top 8 friends, and if people weren't in your top 8, then it was fucking drama, like ridiculous amounts of drama. So MySpace was kind of disgusting. So again, this kind of goes through more and more of this detail. One things that was kind of groundbreaking from this, and allegedly the grand jury has this, although one, I did not see it in searching for the files. Two, I do not want to see. But allegedly he recorded these sexual encounters with these underage kids, and at various points for surveillance outside of the facility as well. Said they were grainy and hard to distinguish. So but those allegedly do exist. So here's, I think this is where computers were seized. One computer, two computers were seized. One was the covert cameras, and the other one was Mr. Benesiak's personal computer. On either the cameras or personal computer, did you find any evidence documenting the sexual activity of these girls? This one says no, but the other one did say that they did have video footage. So there was testimony from another individual. So this just goes in more detail. Yeah, this is Detective Ricari. So one did confirm that there was footage, and the other one did confirm that there was not footage. So take it for what it's worth, but it says that there was footage in the original grand jury documents. So with that, there was, sorry, the way I had to share it was weird. So also accompanying the release, there was phone call records, more phone call records, felony solicitation of prostitution, procuring the underage 18 for prostitution, and there are, forget how many pages, 193 apparently, 193 pages of different phone messages. I haven't been through every single one of these, and there's no way to keyword search these. So I will go through them. We see some of the names, Joanna Foiberg. I don't know how Larry is. But a very Les Wexner. There's Wexner. Jeff Staley. Ghislaine, Miss Maxwell, Tony, Francis Ward. I don't know if he wants me to say who it was, so I'm not going to. But somebody, when we were reviewing previous call logs, said Clinton wasn't there, and was wondering. And we looked into a little bit further, and it would have been more compelling to know that Clinton went under some kind of pseudonym or some kind of staffer's name. So that was what was conveyed to me from this individual. Turned all the words on the scanned document into a PDF. I could, but I wanted to get it out there, so I didn't have time to do that. And I don't know how well it transcribes this kind of writing. Like, that would be indistinguishable. More Zuckerman for AI, I would think. But so the individual told me to look for staffers or pseudonyms because they wouldn't put Mr. Clinton's name on one of these lists or one of these pieces of information. We referenced that and did indeed find that was present in the previous record. So it very well could be in this one as well. Paulina, Darren, whited out. Call her back. Shit. Don't call any of these phone numbers. I don't know what they are. And I didn't realize that there were unredacted phone numbers. So Miss Maxwell, Savannah, Sophie, Harvey. So again, there are Joanna. That's one of the names from previous. Les and Jess. So there might be some good information in these, and I'll go through them a little bit more so I can see. There's another Les Wexner, and again, this doesn't say that they were involved in any sexual activity. It doesn't not, but it doesn't say that they were involved in any sexual activity. This just said they had communications with Mr. Epstein, your sister. But a lot of these names we've seen. There's another redacted. Her friend got in a car accident Friday. She didn't have any minutes left on her phone. She couldn't call long distance, blah, blah, blah. So I assume that would probably be a victim. Mr. David Copperfield. He will be arriving later. Something be I don't know what the hell that says. All these people got work at NPR? Damn. I don't know what that says. It says he will be arriving later. He blank be. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. If anybody has any indication of what the hell that says, I'd love to. So I got the first. He will be arriving later. I don't know. But that's Mr. David Copperfield. Darren Glenn. There's another one for Mr. Copperfield, Mia's home. Mr. Copperfield's assistant. Updating? Maybe. Returning phone call. Natalie. Sarah. John Luke Burnell. Please call him back. Mr. Copperfield again. He's just checking. You can reach him at home. Huh. John Luke again. John Luke. Mr. Perlman. The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember who he is. Yeah, hell, we'll keep going. We're already halfway. Ghislaine. Mr. Copperfield again. So frequent communications with Mr. Copperfield. Daniel Copperfield. David Copperfield, sorry. Can't read. Glenn Dubin. Shane, Shelley, Suzanne, GM. Melissa Haynes needs to be called after 8:30 instead of 9 because somewhere she's supposed to be. I don't even know what the hell that says. Larry. Hervin Pells? I've never heard that name before either. American Debbie, Jeff Shantz, Dave, Jeff Shantz. Believe Jim Pony. Jeff Shantz, Carlos Sanchez. I mean, if I'm missing anything, Ron Perlman, the actor, it could be, could very well be. Doron, Tony. He wasted a lot of paper. I'll tell him that. I'll tell you that much. Natasha Malty, Tony. Tony, Eric, Glenn, Tony, Sam, Eva. I'm looking for something crazy. And it looks like they got sloppier and less as we move down. So I'll actually go through these in more detail and post if there's another Wexner. Post if there's anything cool, anything we didn't know before. But so these are the other part of the releases. Those. There's one more thing that I wanted to get to. Um, I was just reviewing. So these are allegedly some of the. Don't worry, they're not those videos. But these are allegedly some of the videos that were released from his Palm Beach home, whether it was on a search or what the case was. Um, I don't know that 100%, but it looks very courtish, like they were used in court based on the media player and all that shit. Um, so just take a tour through Mr. Epstein's house real quick. 3 videos total. Uh, and multiple outlets are reporting that these are in fact from the evidence portion. So, but you decide. I mean, it looks generally like a late 90s, early 2000 home. Basically, obviously there's some satanic concerning shit in there as well, but for the most part, it looks like there's a David Roth in the messages. I'm looking at him on the other screen while you guys are watching the videos. I need zoom on all those photos. Yeah, exactly. It's not great quality because I tried to stop and look at some stuff. It's not fantastic quality, obviously, of video. I don't know if I can like AI upscale it or, which is not terribly reliable, but it might be worth a shot. John Luke, Les Wexner. Frederick Fakai was in one of the phone messages. That was I started that one at a weird spot. Courtney Wilder? we'll go back to this. Full transparency, again, I just want to be perfectly clear that these messages never, I never said specifically that they were for any sexual purposes, but I know the one that the media is going to pick out and make a big deal about, and there is Donald Trump. 5:15 p.m. Just want to be fully transparent. Found a Donald Trump, a message from Donald Trump to Mr. Epstein. Again, there's no indication that any of this had anything to do with anything sexual, but what it's worth. Hang on, because there's a second one. Go quick, these. So here's obviously another one, 5:18. So there's 5:15 and 5:18. I'll just give you both of them. So I assume he called right back, or tried to reach him. They look like similar days, and it would have been the next page. The FBI is a program to help sharpen the pick. Yeah, I mean, there's AI upscaling. It's just not. It's not fantastic. All right, I'll keep going through that, and we'll keep playing this. So. Harvey Weinstein. There's a call from Weinstein, followed by another one from Copperfield. Harry Beller. He has the info, is all the message says. I don't know who Harry Beller is, but. Creepy ass hallway. And then there was one more. I think it's a similar video, but it was a third one, so. There are a lot of calls from Copperfield on this log. No, go back to the bathtub photo. Svetlana. Steez, did you call Trump's phone number to see if it's still active? I'm not encouraging anyone to do that, but I'm just simply asking if these did. Was that? I'm gonna assume no because I don't want to get struck, but I'll go back and look. Was it like that one, like a glamour photo? I don't know, but I'll go back through it. So that's what we have today, from Governor DeSantis. Thank you, truly, thank you for releasing the information. It's good to have the information. Like I said, I put most, if not all of it, in the Epstein tab on my Discord, and I'll try and throw it on Twitter and see if we can't figure out how to do that as well. I have like 5 pages left. I guess I can go over here. And we'll go through the rest of these. Like I said, I showed you the Trump one. There's been a ton from David Copperfield. Well, the Trump 2, let's be clear. Paul Heal, Ava Anderson, Leighton Chandler, Svetlana, John Luke, Tatum. I'm glad that most of these aren't redacted. That's nice too. Joanna, Mark Lundberg. So these again are just general messages to his office. So that is it. 449 number is active. Damn. It was a great call. That's awesome. Hang on, I'm going back to when you guys would have typed that message to see about the Ghislaine photo. No, she's clothed. Is this the one you guys were talking about? Oh, no, you're talking about that one. Yeah, it looks like it. It was busy the first time and second time party was not available. Well, these are all drop-ins. Very well could be people are calling them. So. Oh, okay. So that is the. I want to truly thank Governor Ron DeSantis for releasing this information. I think it's important for public disclosure for everybody to know. I was completely blown away that they kind of just dropped randomly. So, as always, just watch out for other things because, like I said, that's kind of what was in the official drop from the court. You'll see a bunch of other shit try to get passed off as people try and throw weird and random new things in. That's all that the court has released. I showed you everything that the court has released so far. If I find anything else, certainly let you know. Oh, they just released a lot more as I'm fucking doing it. Oh, Okay, so those okay. I'm gonna go over to the uh, state attorney of Palm Beach County. So this is all that was released. So of course I'm got more work to do and more shit to go through. But these are all the files that were released. And obviously I'm not going to do them all on here because I don't know what the hell was on there. But we just watched these videos. So I will go through the rest of these. I will figure out what is on here and we will report one more time. So, but for now, that was the original first document that came out. Now they've released a whole shit ton more. And yeah, I know what I'll be doing tonight. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please hit the thumbs up on the way out. There'll be another one. I promise. I'll go through all this shit, see what's there, what's good, what's not, and bring it back to y'all. So until next time, hope everyone has a good night.